In the late summer of 2018, a tragic story unfolded that would captivate and horrify many. 27-year-old Meighan Cordie and her mother, Jennifer Weathers, set out to celebrate at a friend's wedding in the picturesque Yamhill County, Oregon. What was meant to be a joyous occasion of laughter and dance would spiral into a night of mystery and sorrow. On their journey back home, an event occurred that only 3 individuals truly understand. Tragically, one of them can no longer share their account. Another insists Meighan simply exited the vehicle and disappeared into the night. And the last, a mere toddler at the time, witnessed her mother's last moments, but was too young to articulate the events. The enigma surrounding Meighan Cordie's demise, found at the base of a steep embankment by a Dayton road, is a tale riddled with contradictions and profound frustration. Born in December 1990 to Jennifer Weathers and Anton Cordie, Meighan was the beloved elder sibling to her brother Jacob. Little is publicly known about her early life. Her father, Tony, a respected former fire captain in Clackamas, and her upbringing in Oregon shaped her into the person she became. In 2015, Meighan's life was brightened with the birth of her daughter, Gia, who became the center of her universe. Meighan's devotion to Gia was unparalleled, their bond unbreakable. Described by her Aunt Tracy as a beacon of joy, Meighan was known for her infectious laughter and willingness to bring a smile to anyone's face. Her radiant smile, often the first thing people noticed, truly had the power to illuminate any room. The fateful day of August 18th saw Meighan, alongside her mother Jennifer and her 3-year-old daughter Gia, attending a wedding at Heiser Farms. This serene and rustic venue, typically a place of celebration, would soon be overshadowed by the events that followed. A disagreement the day prior over who would drive to the unfamiliar location hinted at underlying tensions. Jennifer, insisting on driving, wanted the flexibility to stay late at the party, a decision that would later come into question. As the wedding festivities unfolded, with a beautiful ceremony giving way to a vibrant reception, the atmosphere was dampened for Meighan and Jennifer, both of whom had been drinking. Witnesses recounted a visible argument between the two, with Jennifer appearing significantly intoxicated. The situation escalated as Gia grew tired, prompting Meighan's desire to leave, a decision met with resistance from Jennifer. Their departure was marred by continued arguments, with Meighan eventually exiting the vehicle, leaving behind her phone and shoes. Despite Jennifer's attempts to persuade her back, the tension persisted. A phone call Meighan placed to her boyfriend captured the ongoing dispute, a conversation that would tragically be their last. Jennifer's account to authorities painted a picture of a heated argument leading Meighan to demand she stop the car, resulting in Meighan's departure into the night. Despite Jennifer's efforts to locate her daughter, Meighan was nowhere to be found. Opting to return home with Gia, Jennifer's decision to sleep without confirming Meighan's safety would haunt her. Meighan Cordie's story is a heart-wrenching narrative of a night that began with celebration, but ended in a mystery that remains unsolved, leaving a family forever changed.
Hi, is this a number I call for a non-emergency?
This is the dispatch center non-emergency number. How can I help you?
I'm sorry. My daughter has been missing since last night, and I'm getting kind of worried because she's supposed to work in 10 minutes, and I haven't heard anything from her. We were at a wedding, and she was upset and got out of the car, and I haven't heard from her since, and I haven't been able to find her. I drove around for 2 hours this morning looking for where she got out of the car, and so I don't know if I should call 911 or if I have to wait a certain amount of time.
As dawn broke on August 19th, Jennifer Weathers awoke to a home still devoid of her daughter Meighan's presence. With concern mounting, she resolved to take action and initiate a search for her missing daughter. However, rather than reaching out through the urgency of a 911 call, Jennifer opted for a more subdued approach, dialing the non-emergency number to report her situation. During this call, Jennifer conveyed her efforts, explaining that she had dedicated 2 hours of the morning to scouring the area in hopes of finding Meighan, yet her attempts had been fruitless. The absence of her daughter weighed heavily on her, prompting the need to alert the authorities to Meighan's unexplained disappearance.
No, there's never a certain amount of time that you have to wait.
Okay.
Do you want to report her as missing?
Yeah, I think so.
Where was she missing from?
I've checked the hospitals and I've checked the jails, and she's not in either one of those. So the wedding was at Heiser Farms in Dayton, Oregon.
The phone conversation between Jennifer and the police dispatcher has been the subject of much scrutiny and analysis. From the specific language she used to the inflection in her voice, Jennifer maintained a composed demeanor throughout the call. However, it's important to note that individuals cope with stressful situations in diverse ways. One peculiar aspect of the discussion was Jennifer's mention of reaching out to jails and hospitals. If she genuinely believed her daughter may have been arrested or severely injured and hospitalized, one would expect a heightened sense of urgency and distress in her tone. Curiously, this seemed to be lacking. Moreover, after exhausting those possibilities, a mother's worries would typically intensify rather than diminish. The haunting thoughts of Maya being hurt somewhere, unable to call for assistance, or even worse, having gotten into a vehicle with a dangerous individual, would consume a parent's mind. The absence of palpable anxiety and the matter-of-fact nature of Jennifer's inquiries have led many to question the sincerity of her concerns. Did she truly fear for her daughter's safety, or was there something more sinister at play? As the investigation unfolds, these lingering doubts cast a shadow over the case, leaving observers to wonder about the true nature of Jennifer's actions and motivations on that fateful day.
And what is your name?
My name is Jennifer Weathers.
And what is her name?
Meighan, Meighan, Cordie, Cordie.
You know what she was wearing?
She was wearing I want to say it was floral pantsuit. It was one piece, short sleeve, navy blue with flowers on it. And she doesn't have her phone. She didn't have her phone. She left it in my car. She didn't have her wallet. Everything was in my car.
Okay, we'll go ahead and have someone get in contact with you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Law enforcement was promptly alerted and took immediate action upon learning of Meighan's unexplained vanishing. She had, under the cloak of night, exited a vehicle on a secluded, unlit country road in unfamiliar territory, a situation fraught with peril. Calls were made for volunteers to join the urgent quest to locate Meighan, and her image swiftly saturated the local media landscape. A formidable force of 300 community members and professional responders converged to comb through the forests, waterways, and agricultural expanses where Meighan was last seen. Despite their exhaustive efforts, Meighan's whereabouts remained a mystery. To provide some context, on the day Meighan went missing, she had visited a shop where an acquaintance of her family was employed, not too far from the event she had attended. There, Meighan Spencer had praised Meighan for her choice of attire, a charming blue floral jumpsuit, to which Meighan had graciously responded with a "thank you."
And she came in and she was in like a floral pantsuit, and I remembered it because we do have weddings down here, but it's not overly common to see a bunch of people dressed up, so I said, "Oh, that's really pretty." She said, "Thank you."
Meighan Spencer was taken aback upon learning of the disappearance, though the notion of someone vanishing in that locale didn't surprise her. Imagine being barefoot at 10:30 p.m. in complete darkness. There are no streetlights, absolutely nothing to guide you, she observed, highlighting the perilous conditions of the area at night. By the conclusion of the initial 24 hours, the news that Meighan remained unlocated sent waves of despair through her circle of loved ones. The urgency to find her was palpable, especially given the peculiar details of her last known moments and the identity of the last person she was seen with, making further inquiries with Jennifer Weathers a priority for the investigators. Before proceeding with questioning Jennifer, the authorities decided to inspect her vehicle. Inside, they discovered Meighan's cell phone and footwear on the front passenger seat, indicating where Meighan had been seated upon departing the wedding event. The absence of Meighan's phone was concerning enough, but a more disturbing discovery awaited them: a tuft of blonde hair in the front seat, roots intact, suggesting it had been forcefully removed rather than cut. This evidence hinted that the altercation Jennifer mentioned might have been more severe than initially portrayed. Subsequent footage reveals Jennifer undergoing questioning while connected to a polygraph machine. Although the investigators were aware that polygraph results are inadmissible in court, they believed the test could still steer them toward uncovering the truth. This development added a new layer of intensity to the investigation as the search for answers continued amidst growing concerns for Meighan's safety and well-being.
Yeah, we were in the car.
Okay. And then it got heated in the car?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And did it ever get physical in the car?
She pulled my hair.
Okay. How far from the venue were you, or was it still at the venue?
No, it was right before she got out of the car.
we'd already started driving, and she was yelling at me, and she just yanked my head back, and I slammed on the brakes, and then I yelled at her, "What are you doing? Gia's in the car." And I reached back and hit her arm. Travis to hit her arm, to try and make her let go of my hair.
At the heart of this case, only 3 individuals truly knew the events of that day, casting a shadow of uncertainty over the accuracy of Jennifer Weathers' account. Jennifer's narrative places the blame squarely on Meighan, suggesting a one-sided portrayal of their altercation. It's common for disputes to arise, but resorting to physical confrontation is never justified. Jennifer's depiction attempts to absolve herself of any wrongdoing, painting Meighan as the sole aggressor in front of Gia. However, considering all available information, Meighan was known to be a devoted mother, making such aggressive behavior, especially in front of her daughter, seem highly uncharacteristic. The significant pause in Jennifer's final statement, lasting 12 seconds before she mentioned pushing Meighan's arm away, is telling. This hesitation is often seen as an attempt to fill the silence, indicating discomfort despite an outward appearance of calm. If Jennifer were merely recounting the events as they occurred and was confident in her version of the story, such a pause would likely not exist. The investigation into Meighan Cordie's mysterious death revealed that she might have either jumped or fell from the car, leading to her instant death upon impact with a guardrail support beam and the road, before rolling out of sight down an embankment. This conclusion was drawn despite the absence of any evidence suggesting she was pushed or forced from the car, given the physical impossibility due to their seating arrangement. Jennifer Weathers faced charges related to driving under the influence, but none directly connected to Meighan's death. The complexity of the case, coupled with Jennifer's initial omission of the physical altercation and her subsequent legal actions, including a name change, adds layers of intrigue and speculation about the true dynamics of their relationship and the events leading to Meighan's tragic demise.
And when she finally let go of my hair, I started slowing the car down, which is when she started opening the door and saying, "I'm going to get out." Oh, first she had called her boyfriend.
You hit her in the arm how many times?
Oh, I don't know. I just reached back until she let go of my hair.
Okay.
I don't know.
Are you sure that you were hitting her arm?
No.
You were just hitting something?
I was just reaching back and...
Okay.
I mean, it had to have been her arm because she would have been like this. So, I'm assuming it was her arm.
Okay.
Yeah, but she called her boyfriend first and wanted him to come get her.
What's
And
his
that
name?
was before she pulled my hair. His name is Brendan. She calls him Burr. That's his nickname, B-U-R.
Jennifer recounts to the authorities how Meighan had reached out to her boyfriend, pleading for him to come and retrieve her, though the reasons behind her request remain veiled in secrecy. Witnesses at the wedding they attended described Jennifer as heavily inebriated, raising questions about Meighan's concerns regarding her mother's ability to drive safely. Despite their apparent argument, filled with harsh words and escalating tension, Meighan's decision to leave her daughter in such a volatile environment puzzles all. The altercation between mother and daughter reaches a boiling point when Meighan, in a moment of desperation, physically lashes out, pulling Jennifer's hair. This act, seemingly out of the blue, hints at the depth of their conflict, yet Jennifer's foggy recollection, likely clouded by her intoxication, offers little clarity on the catalyst for such aggression. As the night progresses, their verbal exchanges turn increasingly bitter, though Jennifer insists that derogatory names were not part of their confrontation. This claim, however, is contradicted by her later admission that Meighan did indeed resort to name-calling, a revelation that paints a complex picture of their relationship, especially in light of Meighan's unexplained disappearance. In a desperate attempt to escape the escalating situation, Meighan makes a dramatic exit from the moving vehicle, a decision that leads to her vanishing into the night. Jennifer's subsequent search, hindered by her concern for her other daughter, Gia, left in the car, yields no sign of Meighan. The mystery deepens as Jennifer retraces their route, her calls for Meighan going unanswered, a silence that speaks volumes about the gravity of the situation. The discovery of Meighan's body, days later, by a group of joggers, brings a tragic close to the search, yet opens a myriad of questions about the circumstances leading to her death. Found far from the location Jennifer provided, Meighan's injuries suggest a fall from a moving vehicle, a detail that contradicts Jennifer's account of the events. As the investigation unfolds, Jennifer's inconsistent statements and inconclusive polygraph results cast a shadow of doubt on her narrative. The medical examiner's findings further complicate the picture, suggesting Meighan's injuries were inconsistent with a simple fall, hinting at a more complex scenario that night. Despite the lack of criminal charges related to Meighan's death, Jennifer faces legal repercussions for her actions. A resolution that leaves many feeling justice has not been fully served. The aftermath sees Meighan's family grappling with their loss, seeking accountability through legal means, though the true sequence of events remains obscured by conflicting accounts and unanswered questions. This case, marked by its tragic end and the enigmatic circumstances surrounding it, leaves us pondering the delicate balance between truth and perception, the impact of choices made in moments of crisis, and the enduring mystery of Meighan's final moments. As we conclude this episode, we are reminded of the profound effects of loss and the elusive nature of truth in the shadows of doubt and despair. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the heartbreak and mystery of Meighan's story.